But there are many signs, it said, that we know our angels are around. And sometimes people will say they'll see a white feather just flying down in a place where you're indoors, there aren't any feathers, there aren't any birds. Other people will describe feeling a warmth, almost like someone switched on a radiator. Other people will talk about a sense of being hugged. Yet other people will talk about hearing music or smelling a particular fragrance, such as rose, lavender, and know that an angel is around. So there are many ways we can learn to encounter our angels. The difference between an angel and a spirit guide is, it said, angels never lived. Angels are of a higher essence, a higher vibration. Spirit guides, on the other hand, are people who have lived, who have loved, who are connected with us in some way. Now, the most common, and in the sense of usual, spirit guide will be an old gran who perhaps looked after us when we were kids, and after she died, we still feel her around. But of course we can say, maybe wishful thinking, but you come across evidence that maybe there is more to it. I came across a boy when I was researching at Oxford about, when he was 4, he had an operation and he died momentarily on the operating table. When he came back, when they brought him back to life, he was talking to his mum and dad about this old lady who had said to him, no, you can't come here yet. She showed him this beautiful garden and she said, you've got to go back to your mum and dad. So he came back to life against all odds, but it didn't make sense to the family. And then about 5-6 years later, the family were going through, they were moving and they were going through the attic and they found some photos. And the boy seized on this one photo and said, hey, that's the lady who told me to come back. And it turned out it was his great-great-grandma. But some guides with us are to do with things we want to learn. If we're very, very spiritual, you'll find perhaps you have a very wise spirit from the past, perhaps a nun, perhaps a priestess, who actually is with you and will guide you. A lot of nurses will have one of the old Florence Nightingale nurses with them. Soldiers will often have some brave guy from hundreds of years ago who defended. But the important thing to do is, how can we contact them? And in a little bit I'll talk about some rituals you can do with angels